Hi everyone, it's Katie Snap with Skirt Strategies, and I am here with a training tidbit for you. This session, Realizing Achievements Through Targets and Goals, and I will give you a simple, straightforward approach to getting what you want done this year. Now, I say this year because we are recording or we're broadcasting at the time of the new year, but if you're listening to this at a time where you want to have a super productive next 90 days, or you're going through a phase in your life where it's really important to be focused and balanced, then this is for you. A quick note that normally at Skirt Strategies, you see myself and Carol, just me this time. We focus on tiny trainings to give you big results. We know you don't have a lot of time for sitting down in a classroom. In fact, a lot of you don't have time to sit and listen to this on video, and so you just listen to it on audio, which is perfectly fine, and we endorse that. Let's get right into it. Before we look at the three areas that we're going to recommend that you focus into this next year, look at yourself and the beauty in your life. Look at how you affect those around you. And then I'd like you to check in with the level of personal development that you accomplish. Do you have it as a high priority? Do you put yourself first? You want to make yourself as most effective as you can be. You want to put your best foot forward. And so for this upcoming year or time frame, or the focus forward, we're going to give you three areas to grow. In conjunction with our friend Plato, I think who it was, that said mind, body, and spirit, to have all of those aligned. That's where we'll go. Before we even introduce that, a must do somewhere. Find a place to write your actions. You will have actions in each of these three areas, mind, body, and soul. Don't overdo it. Don't give yourself so much that you look back on it tomorrow and you think, oh my God, that's too ambitious, and then you get immediately disillusioned. So find little tidbits that work for you over the next 20 minutes or so and jot it down. So a piece of paper will have in it something for mind that you'd like to do, something for your body that you'd like to do, and something for your soul. This is a nice visual of those three. It's like getting on a bike. You have to have the front wheel in order to align yourself. You have to have the back wheel for power. And somewhere in there is the required balance. We're going to rev you through this. This year should be the year of the me, the year of the focus on my own self, focus on you to be the best that you can be. Let's look first at mind. The mind part of our personal development is mental. Now, you'll hear this coming from me as a big thing because I am a professional at professional development. I think it's super important to have constantly some sort of training going on or something that's challenging yourself. So to do that, see yourself first as the ever-evolving woman of influence that you are. You have a world around you of people that are affected by you. The more effective you are, the more likely they are to be influenced in a way that's positive. Then I'd like you to look at a role model to which you can aspire. This doesn't have to be a woman, but somebody that does lead. This is the mental part only for now, that does lead or affect others with a mental accomplishment. They either have competencies that they're good at, or they have professional capabilities. What are two or three of those that you think you'd like to replicate? What is it about them that's a role model that you see worthy of copying? Because copying is not only a great form of flattery, but it's also a great way to find what really resonates with you. So for this task area, this mind area, on your paper, write one thing in mental development that you'd like to achieve in the next 12 months. And then what might be a pretty quick action in order to get that done. And here's what I'm talking about with the difference between the area of mental development versus the more specific action. Let's say that you want to be better at your entrepreneurial skills, or you want to build your business in a way that's more stable. That's a great area of mental development, and you might write it down that way. But then if I were to see you go out and do something tomorrow about it, what would that specific thing do? Because you're not going to have the accomplishment overnight. You're going to work on some specific taskers in order to get that done. So that's the first area, your mind or your mental competence. The second area is your body. And ground rules here, ladies, No beating yourself up. No shoulds. No, I should have done this more last year, or I should have learned how to jog, or I should have walked more every day. Focus instead on what you have going for you and what your beauty is right now. There's something that you love that gets you out moving. You see the visual, if you're watching the video, you see a visual of somebody walking some dogs. You're making two other little beings happy, at least in the case of the picture with a woman walking two dogs. You're doing something for someone else. Moving through space. What is it that can move your body through space? So I'd like you to ask yourself, what is one physical goal that you'd like to achieve in the next 12 months? And then again, you'll have some sort of an interim goal or an immediate action in order to get there. All right? I'll give you an example of this one as well. I do a lot of physical activities. One thing that I have started focusing on just a little more is the degree to which I'm out walking. So I've set a goal of 10,000 steps. I'd like to get 10,000 steps accomplished in the next year, every day for the next year. And so my interim goal to get there is to get a Fitbit, which I happen to have gotten as a gift recently, to get a Fitbit as a tool to help get me there. Find one area of your body or your physical goals that you'd like to achieve in the next time period. And then the last of those three is really your soul. What is it that's spiritual for you? Here's a fun exercise, and this actually came from an adaptation of an exercise from The Artist's Way, which is a great book for centering yourself. One of the exercises that I did, this was not recently, but I did several years ago when I took The Artist's Way, was to identify 20 things that I enjoy doing. And boy, I came up with a great list. There were actually 21 of them, and as I look back on them a few years later, I just loved them. I'll read you a few of them. Putzing around in the garden with no particular objective. Trying new wine with my husband Bobby. Getting a massage. Having cocktails or anything, dinner or a meal with my dad and his wife. Drying my daughter's hair. I would love sitting in the kitchen, putting them on a kitchen chair and drying their hair, long hair with a brush going through it. Going to see a movie, buying art, Sunday lunch with a friend, things like that. I'd like you to make a soul list. I'm going to call this a soul list. What are 20 items that move you to feel more connected with the universe? And you can take your time doing this, but eventually I'd like you to take your soul list and put it somewhere in a prominent place. And then select one activity you'd like to accomplish each week, more often, if you want to be, a little bit more. I don't want you to be too ambitious, but if you don't have a frantic schedule and you want to do it more than one item each week, pick one item that you can be doing regularly. Okay, so your list should start to look like something for your mind, something for your body, and something for your soul. If you're looking at the video, you see a couple of items there as examples. Okay, so by the end of this time period, and if it's 2015, that's your time period, it's a year of the me. It's a year of putting yourself first, being just a little bit selfish, which is fine. One of the great exercises that I do is meditating during yoga. I know a lot of you do yoga. I do hot yoga, and I find that it's my escape because it settles my mind, which tends to be a little bit frantic. We women live in worlds where we've got a lot of frantic things going on around us, and settling and centering is sometimes really very good for mind, body, and soul. Carrie is one of the yogis in the classes that I take, and Carrie puts it really well. She says, we put ourselves first, we take care of ourselves so that we're more adept and better at taking care of those around us when they need us. Isn't that nice? It gives us a great excuse for being selfish and putting ourselves first. Here at Skirt Strategies, we like putting you first. We're here to be with you, to be for you. We understand you. We are you. We get you. And so keep in touch with us here at skirtstrategies.com. We'll send you regular mails if you sign up for our mailing list. And listen to the podcast. Lots of free podcasts. Follow along when you can.